And with that, I'll start by introducing my good colleague, Joanna Alimanestianu, who moderated the session on new placemaking tools and teaching approaches.
What really came up was the fact that today in teaching and in the tools that we have, we're not there yet. There's been a lot of criticism of architects and urban planners in these different sessions and even out there in the public, and rightfully so. So what we really need to do is to place what is the premise of our work. What are we trying to do? And our goal is the well-being of people. I think that we forget that, and that's the problem with most architects and urban designers, and that's the problem in most of the schools. We have to learn from the successes of what we've been able to do in the past, but all the past. We have to look at the failures of the existing environment. This has come up many, many times. We must learn how to borrow from places where it's been successful, not just come up with inventions. We must also turn to those theories that have helped us, and it's proven here during these 3 days how these theories of architecture and urban design and placemaking are so important, and how we can use those to move forward. We must also work with the people and in interdisciplinary teams. Claudia brought up a very, very important problem, and that has come up in many, many of the schools. As a matter of fact, in most, is how do we teach architecture and urban planning, placemaking in those first years. It's very important to show them, take them out there, explain to them what is going on, and again, bring back the idea that we're creating places for people, not just computerized designs or machines. Anna, she brought up the whole problem of the fact that we don't look at what we have. She brought up 3 different cases of studies to show where it works and where it doesn't work, and how we can learn from those. Anna, the second Anna, also showed us that we must not only teach the designers and the urban planners and the urban designers, but we also must raise the awareness of those out there in the streets, the society, people, the residents. And so she used the theories of Jane Jacobs to enlighten and to give people the sense of responsibility for their environment. Without this, the professionals will not be pushed to create better places for all of us. We often say that it's the fault of the architects. Well, it's the fault also of those who hire the architects, the urban designers and the placemakers. So we must raise their awareness about their own environment. Michael showed us that we have to have a hands-on approach to the problem. We have to look at the local and come and take the problems and the solutions from a local position. Here he was putting cones down in the streets. It was rather amusing to see how just by doing very small interventions, we can guide the public realm to become a better place. Stephanie was talking about our world of transportation, in the sense that commuting, very often we think of where we're going to buy a place, where we're going to live, as where is it located and how long does it take me to get to this city or to that place. And we don't think about the quality of the transportation and the route that we must take, whether that's walking or on public transportation or even in the roads. What kind of experience do we have? Again, going back to the daily life of people and seeing how we can improve that daily life. Joël showed us that we really do need to look at the tools that we're using and the tools that are constraining us, the laws, the codes, and change them to reflect what we really want to create, and use them as guides to create better places. And our last presenter, Gabriela, showed us how even in a rather hostile environment of the schools of architecture, we can bring in subjects that are of real interest, that can change the way we're teaching architecture and urban planning. We all have to. We have to show the people in the street, but we also have to show the professionals that what have we created in the last decades, and what can we create in the future for the well-being of people. These must become obligatory courses, not just electives, as she has done in her school. So I can only encourage you to place, and I know that you all do, but encourage others too, out there, that the human being is the important person, the important goal, the well-being of people. Thank you.
We could have perhaps a Hippocratic oath, as Joanna and I were talking about. It might be a good thing for architects and urbanists to have